World War II in the Pacific was a brutal fight for survival. Just months after Pearl Harbor, Japan seemed unstoppable, expanding across Asia and the Pacific. But behind the scenes, one quiet American officer, working not with guns or planes, but with paper, pencils, and brilliant intuition, changed the destiny of the war. His name was Joseph Rochefort, and his code-breaking genius gave the United States the decisive edge at the Battle of Midway. Joseph John Rochefort was born in 1900. He joined the U.S. Navy as a teenager and became fascinated with languages and intelligence work. By the 1930s, he was already considered one of the Navy's brightest minds in cryptanalysis, the science of breaking codes. After the devastating attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941, the U.S. Navy desperately needed to understand Japan's next move, and Rochefort was put in charge of a secret cryptanalytic unit in Pearl Harbor, known as Station HYPO. The Japanese Navy used a highly complex code called JN-25, with over 30,000 possible code groups. It was designed to be unbreakable. But Rochefort and his small, sleep-deprived team worked tirelessly, sifting through endless streams of intercepted messages. Piece by piece, they began to see a pattern. Rochefort noticed repeated references to a location the Japanese called AF. But where was AF? Many in Washington thought it could be the Aleutian Islands. But Rochefort had another theory. AF was Midway Atoll, a tiny U.S. outpost in the middle of the Pacific. To prove his theory, Rochefort devised a clever trick. He asked Midway's garrison to send an unencrypted radio message saying their water system had broken down. Days later, the Japanese intercepted code reported that AF is short on water. This was the confirmation Rochefort needed. With this knowledge, Admiral Chester Nimitz prepared an ambush. The Japanese fleet, confident in their secret plan, sailed straight into a trap. On June 4, 1942, the U.S. Navy surprised the Japanese at Midway. In one of the most decisive battles of the war, American pilots sank 4 Japanese aircraft carriers, the same carriers that had attacked Pearl Harbor. Japan's naval superiority was shattered, and the momentum of the Pacific War shifted to the Allies. Historians agree, without Rochefort's breakthrough, Midway could have been a disaster instead of a turning point. Despite his role in Midway's success, Rochefort didn't receive immediate recognition. Navy politics kept his contribution in the shadows for decades. But in 1986, long after his death, he was posthumously awarded the Distinguished Service Medal for his extraordinary work. Today, Joseph Rochefort is remembered as one of the greatest code breakers in history, a man whose brilliance saved countless lives and changed the course of World War II. Joseph Rochefort's brilliance was too great to remain hidden forever. His story eventually reached Hollywood. The 1976 film Midway introduced audiences to the battle, but it was the 2019 blockbuster Midway, directed by Roland Emmerich, that fully showcased Rochefort's crucial role. Played by actor Brennan Brown, Rochefort is portrayed as the eccentric but brilliant codebreaker whose insights set the stage for victory. Through film, millions have now discovered the man who worked tirelessly in the shadows and whose genius saved America at its darkest hour. Sometimes, wars are not only won by soldiers on the battlefield, but by quiet heroes in back rooms, working with nothing but their minds. Joseph Rochefort was one of those heroes. If you enjoyed this story of hidden history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more untold stories of World War II.